No. Welcome to the Planning Commission. It is 6 p.m. on October the 28th, and I call this meeting to order. Please join me and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, staff, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Ferguson.
Yes, here.
Commissioner Ashbaugh.
Yes, present.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Yes, present.
Commissioner Torres.
Yes, present.
Commissioner Young.
Yes, here.
And Chairman Wiley.
I can't run it, so yes, here. All right. For those of you who are here tonight to speak at one of the hearings, I'd ask at this time that you go ahead and stand, raise your right hand. This is for anybody who's going to speak as one of the applicants or in favor of opposition to any of the cases. Do you swear to the best of your ability before this committee to share the truth? If so, say, I will. All right, you can be seated. Thank you so much. All right, I'll entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
So moved.
I have a first. Do I have a second?
Second.
Anything you'd like to pull or discuss further? Anything to pull? All right, not seeing any, I will call for the vote.
Commissioner Ferguson.
Yes.
Commissioner Ashbaugh.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill.
Yes.
Commissioner Torres.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Chairman Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 6 yeses. All right. We have a heavy night tonight of short-term rental hearings. So to expedite that, I would just ask that if you speak tonight and you want to repeat something that's already been said, just say that you agree with that person who spoke before you. Please address all your comments to the chair, and we will get you an answer if we can. And with that, I will open up the first hearing for case number 25-400-16, short-term rental.
So were you meaning to skip the public hearing?
No, I was not. Sorry. I just assumed it was a continued. All right, case 25-121, rezoning request for 19405 East 40th Street, Court South.
Yes, this is case 25-121, applicant Matt Covington of JES Development Company, Inc. The action, rezoning the property at 19405 East 40th Street South from R6 single-family residential to O1 office residential. So we're looking at the vicinity map here, and the star is in the wrong place. Sorry about that, but this is actually near the intersection of where the Cloverleaf is down there by the Independence Center. So this is on Jackson Drive, near the gardens at Jackson Creek nursing home area. So here's our zoning map. So what we're looking at is a triangle piece of property that's in the vicinity of the Little Blue River, right up against South Jackson Drive. That would be a component of the triangle farther to the southwest for the development of an apartment project. So as far as the properties that surround this one, to the northwest, that red that you see, That is C2 commercial. You've got to the northeast, that lowland along the river is mostly R6. We've got to the southeast, more R6, that's actual parkland along the Little Blue Trace, and then to the southwest in the O1 office residential. We have a large apartment building as well as more nursing facilities. So this is the comprehensive plan. The area is conceived of as mixed or regional commercial, but particularly in this area, mixed, which it is. And then it clearly shows the envisioned park area that's along that Little Blue Trace Parkway. Zoning history, this northern triangle of those two triangles was never formally platted. In 1975, it was annexed into the city and designated R1 single-family residential. In 1980, the zoning was amended to R1B single-family residential. The parcel was later separated from the parent tract during the establishment of the Little Blue Trace Park and the Jackson Drive right-of-way. And then in 2009, of course, the zoning category was updated with our new UDO to be designated R6 single-family residential. So the proposal, the applicant intends to develop a 3-story, 40-unit apartment structure at 19405 East 40th Street Court South. It'd be the Peaks at Blue River. The development includes 2 tracts, a 2-acre tract, and then this one that's over a half-acre. The larger one is zoned O1, but this smaller one is zoned R6, and that is the reason for the request for this rezoning. This rezoning request was submitted, again, for this 0.79 parcel to rezone it to O1 as well. The application for a minor subdivision has also been submitted to combine these tracts, and so this property contains no development or won't also contain any impervious coverage. This will be mostly the green open space to the northeast of the property. This proposal is not a planned unit development, so this development will be reviewed fully administratively by staff. The physical characteristics of this property, the northern parcel is a triangle shaped. It's abutting the Little Blue Trace Park on the east, and on the north by the Jackson Drive right-of-way. The property is relatively flat, although there's some scuffy plantings along the east and is lower than the rights-of-way, sloping eastward into the park. Much of the parcel is in the FEMA identified floodplain, thus why this is going to be green space. Characteristics of the area, the 23rd Street corridor, that is an error, and I apologize for that. The corridor here is mostly commercial, although it has this residential component along this cul-de-sac. Like I said, the existing single family to the south, as well as Sonic and some other commercial uses. There's a paint store, Sherman-Williams, a little bit farther to the northwest. As far as this property's consistency with the Independence Living for All strategic plan, the project would achieve its goal of viability, choice, access, health, and safety through quality neighborhoods. The project should improve the visual appearance and improve the public infrastructure and facilities. Comprehensive plan tools for this current designation, again, as the map showed earlier, envisions mixed uses. The guiding principle for this is to create connected mixed-use neighborhoods, which this residential component would, of course, further. The applicant proposes O1 zoning, which is the same zoning as the adjacent lot, so they will both be the same zoning as we combine the tracts. O1 does allow for multifamily uses. The existing R6 is, of course, not viable on that small little triangle and for any kind of single-family development, obviously. Historic and architectural sites, there are no apparent historic or architectural related issues with this, not architectural, archaeological related issues with this property. As far as the floodplain and stream buffer, storm drainage issues, the southeast portion of this parcel is in the AE zone, with the northwestern developable portion located in the Zone X area. The Little Blue Trace Park contains the entire buffer zone for the Little Blue River as far as our stream buffer ordinance requirements. Access to the property would not be off Jackson Drive right away, but only off of East 40th Court South. Excuse me. So there's already a sidewalk along Jackson Drive that crosses the bridge and provides connection to the bike path on the other side of the river. The development would hook into that. So as far as additional public sidewalks, we're talking about along 40th Street, extending south along that. This developed neighborhood, of course, that's all the utilities it needs surrounding it, and easements will need to be established with the minor subdivision, which has also been applied for at this time. And as far as any city investments plan for the corridor, for the streets along this area, we do not have any capital improvements projects that are planned at this time. So this is the notification zone. Much of it is the property of the applicant to the southwest, as well as undeveloped property to the north, and parts of the county park to the southeast. And this is an Alta survey that is serving as their zoning plat that they provided, showing the dimensions of the property. And this is the concept plan for their development. So as you can see, most of what would be developed as far as structures go, most of the impervious surfaces would be on the portion that's already zoned O1, not this portion that you are currently looking at. And here's an aerial photograph of the existing site. And this is a sign for the gardens, which is farther to the south, but this would be the site of the peaks at Blue River. This is looking southward. And then this is looking back to the northwest. Staff recommends approval of this zoning request, and I'm ready to take any questions you may have.
All right, commissioners, any questions for staff?
Yes, I have a question.
All right, go ahead, Commissioner Ashfall.
Brian, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken, weren't parking lots supposed to be behind the building?
You are correct.
So, I mean,
And-
I don't see it as a deal breaker, but why, is this just a concept?
There is a provision in the code that allows you to have the parking up front if there's proper screening, and there's the applicant is going to have to create a berm with of a sufficient height with plantings, trees on top of that berm that will create a screen from that parking or from the right-of-way for that parking lot.
Okay, well, that sounds fine.
Well, Brian, let me verify. So we are not looking at deciding on a plat or a final, this is concept only and an opportunity to take a piece of land that's zoned wrong and rezone it. This is strictly for rezoning to
Right.
make the two areas match.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, the property is currently under review administratively, but it is not this is a straight zoning, so there's no PUD, so there's no plan review by you. So this is just, our code requires that, you can't have two zonings on one property.
Right.
They have to combine this property in order for this development to work, even if this piece is actually the undeveloped portion.
Right,
or
and
the
it's,
green portion.
it's part of the floodplain, so currently is not any plans to develop it.
Well, I think there's some pavement. It's mostly walking surfaces.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any additional questions for staff? All right. I'm going to invite the applicant forward. State your name and your address.
Good evening. My name is Matthew Freedy. I'm with Engineering Surveys and Services, civil engineer on the project, and also with 113 Fifth Street, Flushing, Missouri.
And what would you like us to know about your project?
I think Mr. Parker's giving you a good summary of it, so I don't want to take too much time. I get a question on the building placement. We did want to try and place that out in front, and understand that because the offer exchange nature of the project makes it difficult to get driveways in, and particularly to have the two driveways and get safe emergency access really with the position of the building. We are putting those up for that, well screened.
Okay. I was like, I heard myself. Okay. Thank you. Other than that, I think he's given a good summary, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you all may have regarding the rezoning.
Any questions for the applicant? Any questions for the applicant? Seeing
Thank you.
none. Thank you. All right. Any final discussion? All right. I will entertain a motion.
Chair, motion,
Hearing first. Have to close the hearing first.
Yeah. No, I did not. Sir, hold on to that motion for a moment. Anyone present that would like to speak in opposition? Anyone who'd like to speak in opposition? Okay, I'm not seeing any. Any additional people who'd like to speak in favor? Anyone to speak in favor? All right, now I will close the public hearing. All right, I will entertain that motion, Commissioner Young.
Chair, I make motion to approve case 25-100-21 rezoning 19405 East 40th Street Court South.
All right, I have a first. Do I have a second?
Second.
Boy, that was a tie, so I'm not sure. I'll leave that to you, Brian. All right. Call the roll.
Commissioner Ferguson,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashbaugh,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Chairman Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0 for case number 25-100-21. All right, we will move on to the first short-term rental hearing case for tonight. That is for case number 25-400-16, short-term rental at 2804 South Whitney Avenue.
This is case 25-416, Genevieve Zhang. The action is a request for approval of a short-term rental. This is in the vicinity of, not far from Blackburn School, down at 2800 block of Whitney. So this is a single-family neighborhood, so all the surrounding properties are single-family residences, and you can see from the map here where that would be, right near the curve of R.D. Mize there. The notification area is noted here, mostly homes along Whitney, couple along South Cedar Crest behind. The applicant seeks approval from the Planning Commission to use this property as a short-term rental. As far as the property's history, the property was annexed in the city in 1963. The lot was platted in the 1960s as part of Elswood Meadow. Upon adoption of the UDO, or not the UDO, but the original zoning ordinance in 1965, the subject site was assigned R1 single-family zoning designation. Through 1980, it was R1B, and then with the UDO, it became R6 single-family residential. As far as the physical characteristics of the property is approximately 25,000 square feet. Excuse me. The gray dwelling is sort of an A-frame with modernist additions. The first floor has the living room, the kitchen, a half bath, a primary bedroom with a bathroom, a second bedroom with a bath. And in the basement, there's 2 more bedrooms, a bath, a laundry, and an entertainment room with a dining space. Characteristics of the area: the subject site is located in Southeast Independence in a single-family neighborhood, eclectic mix of ranches and split levels, and modern architecture constructed in the 60s and 70s. Parking: the property has a 2-car driveway and a circle driveway, providing parking for up to 6 vehicles. In the area, parking in the street is common, although that wouldn't be necessary for this property. The property's 2-car garage would not be made available to the guests. As far as unruly guests and security, noise monitoring would be via a device called Rent-Eye. If subject activity is above the noise threshold, the management company will alert and message the guests. The guests are made aware at booking that a $500 fine will be added to their account if they are noisy during the quiet hours. Quiet hours will be posted in multiple areas of the house, as well as the penalties for violating the city's ordinances. Short-term rental requirements include noise monitoring, and the applicant will provide that Rent-Eye device. Trash removal will be via TEDS, and it will be done on a weekly basis on Fridays by the responsible agent. Property listing: it'd be listing on 3 platforms, on Airbnb, VRBO, and redawning.com. Business operations and security: the applicant is listed as a responsible agent according to the code. the city's short-term rental list. This form was completed by the applicant covering the licensing, future inspections, insurance, and on-site information posting and so forth. Fire safety plan has been submitted with floor plans for the house, and the fire escape plan must be posted as required by city code. City inspection, the property will have to be inspected by the fire inspector and pass the initial short-term rental fire and life safety inspection. And they needed to provide a parking plan, and we'll go through those things now. Okay, first the floor plan. This is that upstairs that I was talking about, where the little living room is, sort of a kitchen area, sort of a real open floor plan here. Some of the bedrooms, half bath. And then this is the downstairs sort of half basement area with the dining space and laundry and rooms, access to the garage, but they won't be using the garage, and guests won't be using the garage, and then the patio area. So this is the escape plan for the first floor, and the fire safety escape plan for the second floor. And here's their two parking situations. So they have a circle drive, and they have a paved 2-car driveway, enough for 4 cars. So as far as the nearest short-term rentals, they're all over by Lee Summit Road, both of them. Nothing in the adjacent area. So this is that interesting home here. It's a sort of an A-frame with some modernist wings here. You can see the semicircular front driveway there, and then the other driveway, you got to go around the trash cans, and that's the 4-car driveway there. And then this is looking up the street, one direction, and the other direction down the street. Staff recommends approval of this short-term rental request subject to the following conditions. The short-term rental shall obtain a business license pursuant to Chapter 5 of the City Code. The short-term rental operator will remit transient guest tax to the city and comply with the operational standards outlined in Article 3, Chapter 5 of the Code. The business must comply with all safety and other standards established by Section 14 of the Code, and the maximum occupancy of the premises will be limited to 8 adults, 10 persons total. Maximum number of bedrooms shall be 4. The noise monitoring system will be installed. They'll have to put up the good neighbor guidelines and the evacuation plans and other notices that are required to be posted prior to getting their business license. The property must be inspected also by the fire department for a short-term rental fire and life safety inspection, also prior to getting the business license. So staff recommends approval of the short-term rental request subject to these follow-up conditions.
All right, thank you. Could you remind me, I know it's in the notes, but what year was this house built?
I don't think I had what year the house was built.
Okay.
I think I had years of the different zonings and annexations. I think this was annexed in 63.
63.
This
okay.
area. So.
All right. And Brian, could you let me know, has this short-term rental been operating prior to licensing?
Yes, they had, and they took it offline from what I understand, although I think they had some guests that already were booked.
Okay.
So,
All right. Any concerns with cease and desist or anything like that until they got licensed?
no.
Okay. Thank you. Any additional questions for the staff? All right, seeing none, I'm going to invite the applicant to come forward. Hi, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Great. Give us your name and your address, please.
I'm Lucy Vu Mashburn. Address is 1008 Aspen Drive, Liberty, Missouri 64068.
All right, tell us all about your property. And let me just say, I asked about when it was built, so I'd love to know that because it's so unique.
Unfortunately, I don't know the year it was built. So I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Genevieve. So when she purchased this house, I want to say she purchased it in 2021, and there was the previous owner had remodeled it actually for his daughter. So there were a lot of renovations there, but they, like you said, this is a very unique style of home.
All right, what else would you like us to know on behalf of the owner?
That she seeks your approval.
Okay. Do you know any reason as to why she's looking for a short-term rental?
She moved actually to Massachusetts, just primarily for work. She works traveling, and so just to have more of that northeast area, so she wouldn't have to commute as far with planes, having connecting flights and so forth.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Any questions for our guest?
I have one.
All right, go ahead, Commissioner.
If, it probably won't be, but if there is some kind of disturbance at the property, who is responsible for
She
taking care
has
of that?
2 property managers. One, I believe, is listed on here, Rasha, but that person's located in California. And then she also has her neighbor she's able to contact for emergency issues. I know previously she's had, where one instance, the refrigerator had stopped working, and the people that were renting at the time had breast milk that needed to be frozen, and so they had to do some quick actions there to get in, I believe, just like one of those portable or like small coolers to assist in that. And if she can't get a hold of that person, I'm there for additional help.
But the address, I'll say they're all out of.
So I'm kind of confused why Ivy is listed as California, because Ivy is her neighbor, but I'm not sure if Ivy's last name is Kettlewell, if that's the same Ivy, so I should have asked her ahead of time.
Okay, all right.
That was a typo.
That was a typo. Okay.
Yes, the address should be 2810 South Whitney Avenue.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I was asking, because of that typo, because there was nobody.
Okay,
It was out of state.
yeah,
Okay, well, thanks for that clarification.
thank you,
All right, any additional questions? All right, thank you very much.
thank you.
Anyone present who would like to speak in favor of this case? Anyone? All right, seeing none, would anybody like to speak in opposition? Anyone speak in opposition? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Commissioner.
I would make a motion that we approve case 25-400-16, short-term rental.
All right, I have a first and a second.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Young. All right. Any final concerns, questions? All right. I'm going to go ahead and call for the vote.
Commissioner Ferguson,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashball,
Yes?
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Chairman Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0 for case number 25-400-16, short-term rental at 2804 South Whitney Avenue. So let the owner know, and thank you very much for coming in on her behalf. All right, and we move on to the second short-term rental of the evening. That would be on Strode Road, case number 25-400-17.
Yes, excuse me.
This is an application for short-term rental approval of the property at 23601 East Strode Road. It's located in southeast Independence, indicated by the star on the map on the south side of Strode Road. There's a notification area map indicating the required letters mailed out in accordance with city code. A zoning district map of the subject site and the surrounding area indicates that majority of the properties in this area are residential, agricultural, and single-family use in nature. To the south is a tract of land owned and maintained by the Conservation Commission of Missouri. To the west is a platted subdivision, the Aaron Glen subdivision. But the majority of the neighborhood is low-density residential. Aerial imagery of the subject site shows a flag lot with a drive access off of Strode Road. It's 1,500-foot paved driveway from the street to the dwelling. This is considered Lot 1C of the Hidden Oaks 2 subdivision, recorded in 2016. So prior, it was an unplatted tract of land that had been developed since the, well, real estate records indicate since the 1800s. There were several dwellings associated with the parent tract that was subdivided in 2016. So this configuration of lots is the result. The subject site is composed of about 18 acres of land. The proposed short-term rental dwelling encloses 1,800 square feet of floor area, and the applicant meets the minimum required area for parking and the density. This is an oblique view of the dwelling looking south, and a picture of the west facade of the dwelling. It features a stone foundation, white lap siding. Here's a picture from Strode Road looking east. You can see the rural characteristics of the area, and the same view looking west. It's a floor plan, the proposed short-term rental dwelling. So you've got a total of 4 bedrooms. A parking plan indicating that private drive and ample parking for the number of proposed occupants. And a map showing the nearest short-term rental that the proposed short-term rental is well outside of any required density limitations or buffers. Staff does recommend approval of the short-term rental with the standard conditions. The maximum occupancy of the dwelling shall be 8, and the maximum number of bedrooms shall be 4. That concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, I'm open.
I do. Just like the last applicant, has this short-term rental been operating prior to licensing?
Yes, that is correct. So the booking platform records that I've reviewed indicate that the operator has been in business since about 2020. Staff does proactive enforcement action. So this was part of a sweep of short-term rental units. A couple of years ago, the city adopted amended regulations pertaining to short-term rentals, and so as part of those updated amendments, that city staff have been working on mailing out enforcement letters of enforcement to specific short-term rental operators.
And in your knowledge, since you've been in the department, have they responded to the cease and desist?
Yes, that's correct. So the applicant submitted an application just a couple of months ago after they had received a letter from the Regulated Industries Division. I checked the booking platforms today, Airbnb and Vrbo, and the dwelling is not available for booking on either of those platforms at this time.
All right, thank you very much. Any additional questions for staff? All right, I'm going to go ahead and call the applicant forward. Hi, sir. Thank you for being here. Could you state your name and your address first?
Yes, Mark Kitchens, 333 Southeast Alexandria Drive, Lee Summit, Missouri, 64063.
All right, and what would you like us to know about your project?
Well, first of all, I was on the Planning Commission for about 8 years in Lee Summit, so I get it. Thanks for being here tonight, guys. I get it's a thankless job, first of all. Second, the staff has been great through this whole entire process. A little bit of history on this and why it was operating, why a cease and desist was even sent. The properties actually belong to my father-in-law. And you will notice there's a large tract of that down at the base of the hill there. That's his property. A couple of years ago, he was, previous to the law being passed in Independence, was operating short-term rentals at the top. There's actually 3 properties, which this is the one we decided would remain a short-term rental. The other one was already registered as a long-term rental. And they're all 3 next door on a private drive that abuts Burr Oaks Woods and then my father-in-law's property. And the other one, we are in the process of getting an LTR license for, so we'll be back for that as well. A few years ago, my father-in-law suffered a major stroke. He ended up not being able to take care of what's basically a hobby farm where he's at, nor the property, which we had all, is all part of an FFA farm. After he had the stroke, I brought the FFA in to kind of help out with that. As a matter of fact, right next to this property in question, there's a big rabbit den that they maintain and keep for show bunnies. He asked my wife and me, as we have several businesses in the area, to take over the management of it. I have to plead some ignorance here. The address says Blue Springs. I was unaware it was Independence when I took it over. I didn't ask many questions, and that's on me. I was just trying to help my father-in-law out. Of course, once we got the letters, we started working with the staff. We tried to, there are some rules and regulations. We would have loved to have kept all 3 short-term rentals, mainly because they are a very good side income for someone without having to long-term rent to long-term renters that may cause problems on a working FFA farm. Unfortunately, that's not the case, and we, of course, will apply with all laws, have been great working with your staff and everything like that. So as far as that goes, that is the reason why it was even operating before getting a license. I honestly didn't even think it was part of this city. As you can tell, it's right on the edge there. And once we found out, we started working with the staff, which has been nothing but great in my book. The property itself dates back to pre-Civil War. The main foundation has been added on over the years. On the very backside, we have Burr Oaks Woods. The one property in question that already had an LTR license in place is already rented out to another tenant on a year-by-year basis. We usually see work crews come through. As it's secluded, there's lots of parking up there for them as well, as you've seen. They don't like people messing with their trucks while they're at the work site all day long. They rent it for usually longer than we would even consider an LTR as well. It's usually 30-plus days as they build. We've had golf courses, car wash crews come through and everything like that. So we absolutely are complying with everything, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer, and thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you very much. Any questions for the applicant? All right, I see a head nodding no, so thank you very much. All right, anyone present who would like to speak in opposition of this case? Anyone who'd like to speak in opposition? Seeing none, anyone who would like to speak in favor? Anyone in favor? Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. All right, staff, I do have one question. He mentioned it's pre-Civil War. Are we sure there's no historical designations around this property?
So if a property owner would want to classify or designate their property as historic, that would be incumbent upon the property owner to apply for that designation. So any other historic landmark or district that would be the prerogative of the property owner. In this case, there's no technical historic landmark or district designation, although the property may have a lot of historical significance, which I haven't investigated personally.
So there's nothing currently landmarked as that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I would say.
All right, great. Any additional questions for staff? Okay. I'm going to call for a motion.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to approve case 25-400-17, short-term rental at 23601 East Strode Road.
Right,
For recommendations.
Great. I have a first
Second.
and a second. Thank you. I will call for the vote.
Commissioner Ferguson,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashbaugh,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Chair Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0 for 23601 East Road Road for a short-term rental. Thank you very much. All right, we move on to the third short-term rental of the evening, case number 254020 on 1231 South Ash Avenue.
Yes, so as you had stated, this is case 25-420. The applicant, Jose Hernandez, is requesting approval of a short-term rental at 1231 South Ash in Western Independence, just south of Truman Road. It's a notification area map as required by city code. Zoning district map of the subject site and the surrounding area shows that the majority of the neighborhood is located in an R12 or two-family subdivision. Although that subdivision is designated a two-family classification, that the majority of the surrounding properties are single-family use in nature, with a couple duplexes or multifamily dwellings scattered about. The subject site is located directly to the south of the Truman Road commercial corridor. So characteristics of the subject site, it is lot 58 of the Maywood Park subdivision. The lot is approximately 5,600 square feet in size. The dwelling was constructed in 1921 and encloses approximately 1,000 square feet of floor area. The dwelling is defined as a ranch-style house with lap siding and accommodates the required parking spaces for the proposed short-term rental. So a long single-car wide driveway extends into the rear yard. Here's a couple pictures of the subject site, so you can see the lap siding. It's a ranch-style house. And a street view of the neighborhood. You can see houses lining Ash Avenue of similar design characteristics, age, construction. Floor plan, the proposed short-term rental features 3 bedrooms. A parking plan indicates the paved driveway that can accommodate up to three cars. And the nearest short-term rental is located more than 500 feet away to the southwest of the proposed short-term rental. Staff does recommend approval of this application with the standard recommendations and conditions. There is one error in the staff report that I would like to bring up. So on conditions number 4 and 5, the short-term rental, the proposed short-term rental contains 3 bedrooms, which would permit a maximum occupancy up to 6 guests. So I would like to make that alteration to the recommendations and conditions to the Planning Commission, that the proposed short-term rental shall have 3 bedrooms and the maximum occupancy shall be 6. So I do apologize, but yep. All right, that concludes my presentation for this application, and I'm open to any questions.
All right, great, thank you. First question I'm going to ask, has it been operating without a license?
No, this application this short-term rental operator has not advertised their listing on any booking platform, so this is the first that we've seen of it.
All right, thank you very much. All right, any additional questions for staff? All right, seeing none, I'll invite the applicant forward. Hi,
Good
state your
evening.
name and your address.
My name is Alicia Gibson, and my address is 19405 East State Route 78, Independence, Missouri, 64057.
All right, tell us about your Ash Avenue.
Okay, so I'm here representing the owner, Jose. I work for a company called Bear B&B KC. They're a property management company here in Kansas City. So the owner has requested our company help him with getting permitting and also operating once hopefully it's approved, and managing bookings. So our company has been operating over 10 years, so we're very familiar with the process and we're very familiar with screening guests. We have dedicated maintenance staff available 24/7, so if something comes up or if unfortunately we have an unruly guest that needs to be talked to, we have the staff available to take care of that. I believe in my application I already discussed noise monitoring devices and the Good Neighbor Next Door guidelines. And we do have multiple staff members that would be available within, I think the hour is, you guys want, if there's an emergency, you want someone within an hour to the property. So we do have multiple members that would be able to address any issues. So.
All right, any questions for the applicant?
Just one. From the street view, you can't really see, but there's no garage back there, right?
There's no garage. There's a privacy gate that opens up to the some more parking in the back, but there's that kind of long driveway. I think it's 74 feet, and then you could park additionally maybe one more car back there if you needed to. But with it only being a 3-bedroom, 1,000 square feet, we are not going to allow people to have, more than 3 cars anyway. Well, we like to ask guests how many cars they'll be bringing in our screening process. The other thing I had a question about, I know it's 3 bedrooms, so it would be 6 adults. Does the occupancy include children?
We will let the staff answer that.
Okay.
All right.
So I'll talk to them separately. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. All right, staff, could you go ahead and address her question?
So underage children are not calculated in the occupancy per bedroom, so it's 2 adult occupants per bedroom and then a maximum of 10 occupants. That is my understanding of city code, so how we've been applying it.
All right, thank you. Great.
Thank you.
And I have
more
another
questions?
question for you, Commissioner O'Neill. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm looking at the driveway, and the driveway comes very close to the neighbor's house. Is that a shared driveway?
It's not a shared driveway. The neighbor has a separate driveway.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
All right, any additional questions?
There is street parking allowed there, is there not?
I believe there is street parking.
Okay. Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be good. So, okay.
As
thank you.
needed, yeah.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Gabe, can you verify, is it 1 hour distance or is it 30-minute distance in our code? Or is it just a suggestion and maybe not in the code?
No, you are correct, and the applicant is correct as well. So, in accordance with city code, each owner of a rental property shall designate a responsible agent, and the responsible agent shall be located within an hour's drive of Independence.
All right. Thank you for clarifying. Any additional questions for staff? All right. Anyone present who would like to speak in favor? Any additional person like to speak in favor? All right, anyone like to speak in opposition? Anyone speaking in opposition? Okay, I'm seeing none, so I'll close the public hearing. And commissioners, any additional discussion, or I'll entertain a motion?
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner Young.
I'd like to make a motion to approve case 25-400-20, short-term rental 1231 South Ash Avenue.
Second.
All right, I have a first and a second. All right, I will go ahead and call for the vote.
Commissioner Ferguson,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashbaugh,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Chair Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0 for case number 24-420, short-term rental on Ash Avenue. Thank you very much.
Okay, and I would like to make one clarification. So, city code section for the maximum number of guests does state no more than 2 guests, excluding children 5 years old and under, per bedroom are permitted per guest stay. So the total maximum occupancy of 10 occupants, which includes adults and children. So the limitation is 2 adults per bedroom, and it excludes children 5 years and under.
All right, thank you. All right, we will move on to our 4th short-term rental. And that is for 25-421 short-term rental on Delaware Street.
So this is the same applicant, Jose Hernandez. He's applying for a second short-term rental at a duplex property located at 802 North Delaware Street. It's right off the Independence Square, adjacent to McCoy Park, to the west. There's a notification area map, again as required by city code. Zoning map of the subject site and the surrounding area indicates that the area is zoned single-family residential. So all of the properties are single-family in use. This subject site is a duplex in a single-family zoning district, interestingly enough. And then again, to the east, there is McCoy Park along both sides of Best Truman Parkway. The subject site is Lot 7, Block 9 of the Macaulay Park subdivision. It was recorded in 1887. The lot is approximately 9,000 square feet in size. The duplex was constructed in 1969. Each unit encloses about 1,100 square feet of living area. The structure is 3 stories tall, and it features shingle siding. Each dwelling has a 1-car wide driveway with the ability to accommodate 2 vehicles. Here's a street level view of the front facade, showing that shingle siding, the 3 stories with dormers at the roof. Street level view looking northbound along Delaware, and a street level looking southbound. A set of floor plans for the proposed short-term rental show garage on the first level. The second level is kitchen and living area, and the third floor is has 2 bedrooms. So the proposed short-term rental contains 2 bedrooms that would indicate a maximum occupancy of 4 adult guests. Parking plan for the proposed short-term rental shows a paved driveway permitting up to 2 parking spaces. And the nearest short-term rental is outside of the city's required 500-foot buffer, so it meets the density limitations. Staff does recommend approval of this short-term rental application with the standard conditions, and maximum occupancy of the premises shall be limited to 4 persons. The maximum number of bedrooms shall be 2. And that concludes my presentation for this application.
Great, thank you very much. So I'll ask if they've been operating without a license.
Yeah. Again, this applicant, Jose Hernandez, submitted an application prior to operations.
All right, great. Also notice this, where this is located on Delaware, it is the local Truman Historic District.
Yes, you would be correct about that.
So are there any additional restrictions, codes, approvals necessary to operate within a historic district?
If the applicant were to modify the exterior facade of their structure, at that point, the Historic Commission would review their proposed modifications. But the use of the property is permitted as a short-term rental. So the Community Development Department has a historic preservation specialist, Wendy Shea, and there is no comments about the use of the property.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any additional questions, commissioners? All right, I'm going to go ahead and invite the agent back up. And please go ahead for the record, state your name and your address again.
Yes. My name is Alicia Gibson, and I live at 19405 East State Route 78 here in Independence, Missouri, 64057.
All right, and tell us about this property.
This property is one side of a duplex, and the applicant currently lives there, so he is wanting to short-term rent it after he moves out. He does own the other side of that duplex, and it's a long-term renter that's in there. So he plans to keep that long-term renter in there because in accordance to the code, you can't have two short-term rentals so close to each other. Yeah, and I think you guys pretty already much know about me, so I'm open to questions if you have them.
I just have one.
Yeah.
It does have a very large garage. Is that open for users?
I believe he plans to use that as storage when
Okay.
he first opens it, especially because it's only a 2-bedroom, so with the 4 people.
Plenty of room for cars.
Yeah, with the 2-car, and I do believe it is allowed to have street parking as well, so at least 1 on the street and then 2 in the driveway. With an occupancy of 4 people, I can't imagine there'd be more than 3 cars, so, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any additional questions for the applicant? All right, Commissioner.
Yes. Oh, thank you. And you folks were aware that it's within that district, right?
Yes, sir, yes.
Okay.
There's no plans to do any exterior renovations. It's already pretty updated inside, because like I said, it is his personal residence, so he's remodeled it while living there. And now he's ready to move on to his next property and keep this one in his investment portfolio. So,
That's great. I just want to make sure that
yeah,
it wasn't going to be a surprise.
yeah, excellent.
All right. Thank you.
Any additional questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Open up the hearing to anyone that'd like to speak in opposition to this case. Anyone who'd like to speak in opposition? All right, anyone who would like to speak for? Someone who would like to speak in favor? Okay, not seeing any, I'm going to close the public hearing. All right, commissioners, any final questions, concerns to staff? All
Madam
right.
Chair,
Yes, Commissioner O'Neill.
I make a motion, we approve case number 25-400-21, short-term rental at 802 North Delaware Street.
Right?
Second.
I have a first and a second. Thank you, Commissioner Torres. All right, I will call for the vote.
Commissioner Ferguson,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashbaugh,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Chair Wiley.
Yes, and the motion passes 6-0 for short-term rental at case number 25-400-21, 802 North Delaware Street. Thank you very much, and thank you for investing in independence. All right, our final short-term rental of the evening is case number 25-400-22, which is at 16100 East 38th Street South.
25-422. Applicant is Michael Tomlin. And again, this is a request for approval of a short-term rental. I'm in the vicinity of, not far from 39th and Lee Summit Road. So you can see here, it's where Queens Ridge and East 38th Street come together. And we've got R6 single-family residential predominant throughout that entire neighborhood. Okay. So the notification area, mostly along Trail Ridge and Queens Ridge and along 38th there. Proposal, the applicant seeks approval to use the property for a short-term rental. Property's history, this area was annexed in 1960. The lot was platted in the late 60s as Sycamore Hills Edition. Upon adoption of the zoning ordinance in 65, it was designated R1 single family. In 1980, that was reclassified as R1B, and then with the UDO, that's R6 single family residential. As far as the physical characteristics of the property, well, the 11,000 square foot area property has a ranch style home on it with gray siding, red brick around the garage doors. On the main floor is the living room, kitchen, dining room, rec room, bathroom, and 3 bedrooms. On the second floor is the laundry room, bathroom, den, and the garage. I'd say second floor would be the downstairs floor. Characteristics of the area, the subject site is located in Southeast Independence in an area of single-family homes, which is a eclectic mix of ranches and raised ranches, bi-levels, split levels, all constructed roughly in the 1970s. The parking, it's a 2-car driveway in front of a 2-car garage, so basically 4 cars could sit in the driveway. There's also street parking in this neighborhood. It's quite common, and of course this property has 2 street frontages, being on the corner. The garage would not be made available to the guests. The applicant's management plan is to use the Minute noise monitoring system and to alert applicant of sounds over 80 decibels. They would also post quiet hours in the house and on their book and post that on their booking websites. So the short-term rental requirements, it meets that noise monitoring. Their trash removal would be via Ted's Trash, which would be collected on Thursdays. They have 2 platforms for their property listings, Airbnb and VRBO. The applicant has a listed responsible agent as required and has the form covering the licensing, future inspections, insurance, and on-site information posting. There'll be a fire safety plan, which you'll see momentarily, as well as the parking plan and the floor plan. And prior to business license, they also would need to get a fire inspection that would pass the initial short-term rental fire, life, and safety requirements. So this is the floor plan for the main floor. You can see there's the 3 bedrooms, a rec room, kitchen, and a living room. And then the basement is the garage, and you got your laundry room and your den with another bathroom downstairs. So the evacuation plan would be right out the front door of this bi-level, and as well as the back door off the rec room. And then fire exit would be right out the side garage door by the garages. Parking plan, again, 4 cars in the driveway for the 2-car garage. So the nearest short-term rental is sufficient distance. Close, but sufficient. And here is the driveway. And this is looking up the street to the east. And this is the street to the west. Staff recommends approval of the short-term rental with the standard conditions. Again, this time they would be limited to 8 persons total. They have a number of 3 bedrooms. And I'm ready to take any questions.
All right. Brian, I'm going to guess that we need to amend that to only 6 people with 3 bedrooms.
Yes.
Right.
Well, you're limited to 3 bedrooms. That would
There's a
limit
fourth
you
in the
to
basement.
the 8 adults. 6 adults, yes.
6 adults. Okay.
6 adults and 10 people, or?
Wait, that's not right. 9.
There's always a maximum of 10 and 6 and older. So we're just based on number of bedrooms, there's only 3, so it'd be 6 adults.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you very much. If everyone would denote that change. And Brian, I will ask you my question. Has this short-term rental been operating without a license?
They were operating, and I believe they indicated that they would quit posting until they got approval.
All right. Any additional questions for staff? Okay, I'm going to invite the applicant forward. Did you both swear in?
Yes.
Okay, great. If you're going to speak, make sure you're the one in front of the microphone and state your name and your address.
Yeah, Mike and Rebecca Tomlin, 2909 South Swope Drive, Independence, Missouri, 64057.
All right, great. What would you like us to know about your property?
We have never done this before, so this is the first time. So I think he stated that we've been operating, we have not.
Okay, great. Thank you for clarifying that.
You got something to say?
It's been our family home for 32 years almost, so we just...
Always make sure you're speaking directly in front of the mic.
So the property has been in our family for around 31 years, almost 32 years in February is when we purchased our home. And my husband decided to purchase his parents' home. So we have been in the process of moving to the new home, and this house is our family adventure that we're trying out to do the short-term Airbnb. So this is something that's new for us, and hopefully it will work.
All right. Just if you speak again, you have to speak really loudly. It's hard for the microphones to pick you up. So, what else would you like us to know?
I just like to get approval.
All right. Thank you. And you understand it said 8, but we changed that to 6 adults.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any additional questions for the applicants? All right. Seeing none. Thank you very much. Is there anyone present who'd like to speak in favor of this case? Anyone to speak in favor? Anyone who'd like to speak in opposition? Anyone who'd like to speak in opposition? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. All right. Any final questions for staff? All right, I will entertain a motion.
Chair.
So moved.
I have a first. Is that a second from you, Commissioner Young?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you very much. I will call for the vote. Brian?
Commissioner Ferguson,
Yes.
Commissioner Ashball,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Neill,
Yes.
Commissioner Torres,
Yes.
Commissioner Young,
Yes.
Chairman Wiley.
Yes, and the motion with the one change is approved at a vote of 6-0 for case number 25422, short-term rental at 16100 East 38th Street South. Congratulations and thank you very much. That concludes our hearings for tonight. I want to thank everybody for your patience and your contribution. Thank you, staff. Tell Rick we missed him. And I'm going to adjourn this meeting.